Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video I have my design team project for the Bleeding Art Challenge. I will leave a link in the description below to the blog so you can come join us. I'm going to start with this glass bottle. I've had it in my studio for, I swear, years. I've never used it. I just dig the texture on it, like on the sides. I thought it was really cool. And I'm going to use some chipboard from Wow Studios and some Liquitex heavy, some Liquitex heavy matte medium to adhere the chipboards. I also have, I used my Finnabair Prima molds to make these wings and the moon faces, and I did it out of hot glue. I was just playing around one night in my studio, just, goofing around, seeing if, like, I've seen people make molds before with hot glue, but didn't know if it, like, actually worked. I've had them in my studio for a little while, too, so I figured I'd use them up. And I had to build up the back with just some pieces of cardboard that I had snipped up and stacked together like a sandwich. I also have some stars that were made from Stamperia soft clay with Prima Stars and Moons mold. So I'm going to add some of them and some more Wow Studio chipboard, the stars, and then some Brea Reese pebbles, tiny pebbles. And I'm still using that heavy matte medium to adhere everything down. I figured because the moon was a little higher, I was kind of worried that maybe you'd be able to see underneath. So I figured I'm going to shove some stones in there and cover it up. And I don't really have any rhyme or reason with the chipboards. I just kind of throw some matte medium down and laying some of the tiny stars down just to, wherever it looks good. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side of the bottle as well. These are plastic clock Roman numerals. Had them in my stash forever too. So I figured I used the clock face chipboard as the base, so I was gonna add some numerals around. And like I said, I did both sides. I wasn't gonna make you guys sit through the same thing on both sides. So now I have some copper wire that I'm gonna wrap around the neck of the bottle. The lid of the bottle was pretty ornate, and I thought, the lid itself didn't need anything, but the neck was just kind of like blah. So I'm coating it with matte medium, and I'm going to start wrapping the copper wire around. And then I have these little, hooks, pins, hooky thingies. And I really thought that I was going to dangle them. Or dangle something from them, and I ended up not. I liked them without something hanging. So then, just to cover up the matte medium that was around the neck, I added some more of those Brea Reese pebbles. And then I have some glass, I know that's not what they're called, glass melange? No, they're glass pebbles. I don't know where they came from. They're not in original packaging, so I'm just going to slap some of them bad boys down. And like I said, I'm doing the same to both sides. And either side of the bottle is not exactly like the one, not exactly like the other. Same concept, same design, but, the little bits and pieces were a little bit different. So now I'm going in with some Deco Art Media crackle paste in white, and I laid it on pretty thick. The color itself wasn't a concern. The thickness of it, however, was. I wanted some deep cracks. I wanted this bottle to look super old and super grungy, because that's what I love. And I covered the moon faces, and then I ended up wiping it off anyways. Talk about waste of supplies. So there you can see the crackle once it's all dry. And now I'm just going to go over the entire bottle with some Liquitex clear gesso. Just because the next step I'm going to spray paint, and I wanted to give the bottle a little bit of tooth just in case the spray paint didn't adhere to the bottle. So the spray paint that I'm using is super old. I don't even know how there's any left in the can. I don't know how old it is, but I just did a sculpture with this spray paint, and so I knew what I wanted to do. It's Gilded Brass by Krylon. It's me being goofy. So I took it outside, and I'm just covering the whole piece with this what did I say it was called? Gilded Brass with the spray paint. And sorry if you get dizzy. I was painting one-handed and filming with the other. So now that that's all dry, this is my favorite part ever. So I'm going to take some black artist acrylic. I usually use this black for my fluid paintings, but some black acrylic paint and Liquitex slow dry blending medium. And I mix the two together, and then I'm going to coat the entire piece, well, step by step, but I'm going to coat the piece with the paint, and then I'm going to take a wet baby wipe and slowly wipe away like the top layer of the paint. Essentially what I was going for was for the black to get down into the nooks and crannies and give it that aged brass look, more so than it already had. Just adding to the grunge a little bit. So I repeat the process on the neck, and then I did the same for the focal image as well. And that one I went a little more heavier on because there's so much texture and so many different layers in there. I really wanted to get that yummy goodness like in all of it. And if we're being honest, I think I could have stopped here. I would have been very happy if I stopped here. But, you know, I keep going. So I'm going to use some Finnabair Metallique paints in, purple and blue. Now, the purple is, excuse me, dark velvet, and the blue is deep waters. And then I also used some Viva Precious Metal Effect paint, and I think that was turquoise, just to give it, just to spruce it up a little bit, I guess. And then I'm just dry brushing. I'm going real lightly just so the paint itself catches all the raised edges. And I try to focus the purple in the black. Wow. I tried to focus the purple in the background, and then the blue for the wings and the moon face. And then I took the turquoise and just kind of added touches here and there of it. And then I thought, well, the wings have to be like multicolored. So I took the turquoise over the very tips of the wings, and again with the dry brush technique, I went a little bit heavier on the wings with the paint, because once I got started, like, I just couldn't stop. So I did the edges of the wings with the turquoise, and then closer to the moon, I added some purple and then blue in the middle, and then I blended all three of those together to give it a really, really cool effect. And I like mixing different mediums. I can't strictly, I guess that's why I'm a mixed media artist, I can't strictly use one medium. I can't just use one brand of paint. I can't just use one brand of wax. I like it all. So I mix as much as I can. And now I'm going to go in with Art Alchemy's Metallic Wax in Indian Pink. And I'm going to use my fingers at first and really just highlight the edges of all the different elements. And then I'm going to go in with a really tiny paintbrush and dry brush just a little bit here and there throughout the piece. And I'm doing, again, front, back, or both sides. And I'm taking the colors also and doing around the neck of the bottle a little bit, just to give that a little more pizzazz. And sometimes, like, I don't know when to stop. Like, I think I know when to stop, but I really don't. I just keep going and keep going and keep going. But I was super happy with the end result. Like I said earlier, before I added these colors, I really would have been happy with the bottle as it was. But I'm super glad that I kept going, because I got a completely different look than what it was before all the color. So that is it. All done. I'll give you a slow-mo through the piece and some still shots at the end. And again, I'll leave a link to the Bleeding Art Challenge in the description box below. And hope to see you in the challenge and you guys join in. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.